Good evening, one and all. Welcome to this here Sunday night where J Mac and I will be taking you through our experience of watching. What are you laughing at, J Mac?
That took me a good 10 seconds to notice your fucking hat, man.
Um, I thought I'd wear it because ever since announcing this episode here, everyone was like, "Oh, I can't wait to see J Mac's as a reaction to Barbie." So I thought, well, why no? Kind of, I can tell you about Barbie a wee bit, and you can just
Well,
enjoy what I tell you.
thanks. My wife's going to see it this week with our cousin and her daughter, and because my son never wants to miss out on anything, he's going as well.
Aye.
Um, but I there's no chance of me seeing it this week at all.
Nah,
No,
not at all.
I'm back shift this week, so there's never early enough screenings for me to see a film before work.
Well,
So
the
it's
thing is, well, I could talk a wee bit about Barbie in the spirit of Barbenheimer, as they're so kind of dubbing it, but we'll kind of keep the majority about the
what's the
Christopher Nolan classic.
chances? What's the chances of two films like that going up against each other at exactly the same time? Do you know what I mean? It's like
Aye.
two pretty much guaranteed blockbusters,
Mhm.
and they both open on the same day. It's a bit cruel. Do you know what I
Well,
mean?
you say,
It's a bit kind of naff for the cinema industry because they like to spread out the blockbusters. Do you know what I mean?
mate, we done phenomenal because of both of them. To the point, and I'll kind of tell you a wee story here before we get into Oppenheimer. But when I came to negotiating terms for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I was like, so I only have two screens, so I can't really. I have to go where the cash is at, nowhere what I want. I have to go where the cash is at because it's a business at the end of the day, and I can't get right into the terms. But I had said to the company that own the rights to the Ninja Turtles movie, I said, I absolutely cannot take off Barbie or Oppenheimer at this point to give you what you're requesting. But what I can do is guarantee you an extra couple of weeks of a run. And I can also give you almost everything you're asking for, right? Which will still see you with a good return based on what we've got. It's really the best I can do. They came back and they went, no, we want this. And I went, cool catch. So we're not playing it.
You
Kitty
know,
fuck.
doing it.
Nah, we
Oh
fuck.
man, I've heard
Nah.
it's awesome as well. Who's
Well, I've heard mixed
somebody
reviews.
told me? Somebody told me in the last couple of days that I should really see it because it's class.
Well, it's sitting
Um,
at number 3 right now worldwide, right? But I reckon that's just its first week. The Meg, which shouldn't be sitting at number 4, is with what's that a gross right now to date of 30 million. Phenomenal. I went and seen the Meg last night, the new Meg, and
it looks like they're going down the King Kong route now.
no, do you know what? There is a wee bit of that in it. I sat there at first and went, "Hey, mofo, this is Jurassic Park." And to be fair, see the very first, like you well know, there's a T Rex in it. We've seen it in the trailer, right? And it's one of those 10, 100,000 years ago, and it shows you a clip. That's really the only involvement of dinosaurs, kind of, right? But that actual T Rex was actually the same mold used for the one in Jurassic Park. It was given to them by Paramount, right?
Right.
Class, right?
Hmm.
I would say that the new Meg goes down Starship Troopers kind of way,
Right. Okay.
underwater Power Rangers, and then sharks, right? There was a point where I was like this,
I
and I
need
was
to
like,
see it now. I wasn't going to see it, but I'm going to see it now.
right? There was points where I was like, are we getting to the sharks? Oh, it is right now. It's like fucking plucking metallic suits fighting like hell. There's a scene I didn't want to ruin for anybody, so I'm not going to. But I was howling, howling, and I don't know if it's just because of that submarine that kind of imploded, but something happened, and I'm like,
Kind of imploded. I'm pretty sure it fully fucking imploded, man.
well,
imagine, imagine a partial implosion, just like my ears. What the fuck? That's not what happened there. Like,
well, the thing is, that imploded, right? And I don't know if the script, and Matthewman can keep me right on this, right? But the script, etc., must have been done beforehand. I don't think they added that in because of the whole Seagate thing. But there's a point where I went to the wife, And that's what happened to those folk on the submarine. Now you can
No.
visually see it.
It's interesting that they still left that in. Do you know what I mean? Because when you look at Top Gun Maverick, right? It's clearly supposed to be Russia that they're kind of fighting against, trying to prevent this nuclear facility getting built.
Mhm.
And they're making it, and then the whole Russia thing kicks off. They're like, right, okay, we're still going to make the film, but we just can't mention where we're going. Like they never mention once where they're
Aye.
actually going. It's like, oh, we're just
Yeah.
we're going there. It's
Yeah.
like, where are you going? I don't say. I'm not saying.
Well, the thing is, I had fun. The Meg movies will always be fun. I thought the first one was better still, only
I
because
enjoyed the first one more than I thought I would, to be honest. Like I
I
think you
rewatched
need
it the
to
night
go
before.
in. You need to go into the films like that with the right mindset. If you go in
Yeah.
to a film like that expecting Schindler's List, you're going to be highly disappointed and
Aye.
also a bit up your own arse. I
Aye.
can get a bit
I-
like that sometimes. Like I'll go and see. I don't know. Like I fucking still to this day hate Deep Blue Sea, and I know loads of
Love it.
people love it, and obviously you're one of them. I still to this day hate it, but I haven't watched it really since I first seen it and thought it was terrible. So maybe
Aye.
I should try it again. But I just remember some of the CGI just being laughable, and
Aye. Well, this
the
is
whole
actually
idea was daft.
fairly well done. It explores, it explores more to where the sharks came from and what's going on down there,
The
etc.
sea.
Aye. Well, the Mariana Trench, the deepest point.
Get
Aye.
specific.
But aye, go see that if you get a chance. And I'm glad that's sitting right now at number 4. Haunted Mansion, which hasn't premiered yet in the UK, is killing it at 42 million already. So when that opens Friday,
That actually looks all right. I know there was a Haunted Mansion film ages ago with Eddie Murphy, I think, and it was pretty pish by
aye, that's right.
by
Well, this
memory.
is basically a remake of that.
A remake. We'll call it
Yeah.
a J Mac remake.
And it's at number 6 is Sound of Freedom, with absolutely no marketing behind it whatsoever, other than the obvious. And that by Angel Studios, that's sitting at 163 million to date so far. That'll climb. That'll climb as of the 1st of September when it opens in the UK. And I am happy to say that we are in talks right now to have one or two of the main folks behind that. I'm in contact with them, and it's looking like it's going to be a goer. But I'm never going to say it until I get a date and a time. But it's looking like we'll have either, what's his name again, Tim Ballard. Tim Ballard or the producer will be coming on the show to talk to everybody about what it's about. How are we going to get through that episode without mentioning the word Edo?
I also how are we going to be ourselves on that episode? There's going to be literally no opportunity for a laugh and a joke.
Well, think about it. We managed to get a laugh and a joke on the Luke Mitchell one. We managed to get a laugh and a joke on the Black Lives Matter one. We'll be fine.
I almost feel like I don't want to even try on this one. I really want to do the interview. There's a lot of questions to be asked and a lot of information to get out there. But
so did Mel Gibson actually fund you?
I know not one bit of me is going to go. Yeah. I'm just going to be sitting here like a good little choir boy.
Doing the a choir boy came up to them.
Well, again.
This should be fun. That'll be great. I think what the guys are doing are amazing. Talk to Me. I've heard good things about that. It's not open yet here. It's A24.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of really good stuff coming.
That's the horror film, with the hand that you grab onto and it talks.
Heard only good things. Heard only good. A hand that talks to you. Is it for Adam's Family? Fine. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens. But Oppenheimer. Sorry, I've spent my whole last 2 weeks telling all the customers it's Oppenheimer because I'm in to see Oppenheimer.
Sorry, it's closed in Heimer.
It's Oppenheimer. It's Oppenheimer.
Funny thing is, they actually address the pronunciation in the film. And he's like, it even says like whether you pronounce it Oppenheimer or Oppenheimer, it doesn't matter. It still sounds Jewish.
Well, I went and checked it out. on my own because no one wanted to see it with me because the reviews were very much, here's what you're expecting. And to be fair, it would be safe to say, J Mac, that this film is one of those films that is good for kind of learning up on your history and for people that remember it to get a bit more insight on what actually went down. If you want to go into a film where you're seeing folk in motorbike chases or even getting shot or anything, like there's no action in it whatsoever. It is completely based solely on conversation. Would you say?
That's actually one of the things I like about it is the fact that it actually gives the audience a bit of credit,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and the fact that it's like, listen, I mean, this is Christopher Nolan. He done Batman. Do you know what I mean? This is the Batman guy, and he's now given us this essentially what is a. I mean, it could be a stage play because it's all just interaction between characters. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's 99%, not 99%. I would say like 95% just people talking in rooms. But well, again, we'll talk about it. We'll give our feelings on it. But I was supposed to be going to see it with my mate Dave. My mate Dave. I can't say my mate Dave without going, my mate Dave. But he wasn't feeling too great. And
no wonder because he was like, I'm not going to see Oppenheimer.
no, he was looking forward to it, and he wasn't feeling great this morning. And he's like, I'm feeling a bit tired, man. He said, I've got a feeling that if I went to the cinema, I'd probably just fall asleep because I went to the showcase where they've got the reclining seats and everything. And I was like, and then after I came out, I phoned him. Oh, sorry, no, he phoned me. He's like, how was Oppenheimer? I said, you would 100% have fell asleep, but it was fucking good.
By the way, let me tell you something. I fell asleep.
Did you?
Right, but in my defense, right? In my defense,
there is none. There's no defense.
Right? There is. I am burst because my day doesn't stop, right? And I am so tired all the time that I'm always yawning. So when I get some time to just focus and I'm comfortable and I have a wee cup of tea and before you know, I didn't miss much. I fell asleep a wee bit. Wife came in and was like, "Oh, is it that good? Is it?" Like, oh, sorry. So I was a wee bit burst, but I didn't miss much. It was all talking anyway on the time.
How do you know? That's one thing. I never missed much. How do you know? You missed it. You don't know what you missed.
I missed the explosion. No, I'm kidding. It was somewhere in the middle. Somewhere in the middle, I'd kind of fell asleep a wee bit. I mean, the story is, I mean, let's set the scene. Oppenheimer's smart as fuck, he knows tons of languages. Also, was always a psycho for the start. Mate, he tried to kill somebody by poisoning an apple. Like, that should have raised an alarm bell there. And he's got a cheek to feel guilty at the end. Get fucked. You were ready for killing somebody. It was always there. Do you know what I mean?
He's got the cheek to feel guilty at the end. Right. We've taken a massive step forward in the review here, man.
He's got a cheek to feel guilty at the end.
Jesus Christ. So, before we talk about the end, do you want to talk about the beginning? Or?
Aye, he just straight up tries to murder somebody, mate, by using science, bitch.
Science, bitch.
Straight up is like, didn't like you because you're my lecturer. I'm going to poison your apple. Syringes the boy's apple and then feels bad about it and is like, nah, maybe I won't. But let's just digest that for a second. Have you ever been so close to just going, I'm going to kill someone? Fact, no, I won't.
I genuinely haven't. I've never felt like I want to actually kill somebody. I felt like I want to hit somebody or hurt somebody. I've never felt the genuine need or desire to end somebody's life.
And all because what? Because he's lecturing you in a fucking college or university. Like, it's literally what you do there. So why are you raging at the guy?
And the thing is, like the reason that obviously he's got this kind of almost dislike towards this guy is because he feels like he's picking on him, but he is constantly fucking up. You know, there's a reason that the guy's picking on him. It's because he keeps making mistakes. So he's obviously he's got a tunnel vision, and it's like, nah, it can't be my fault. It can't be me. But then he has his wee moment of
I'm gonna kill you.
Aye, but then he has his moment of I probably shouldn't have did that.
But the fact that he tried to do that, right? I'm not surprised he destroyed like 200,000 folk. Kinda,
Yeah.
he did. Kinda. Well, he enabled it. Eh? I didn't kill them. I just gave the guy the
I'm
gun and put the bullets in it.
I'm kind of starting to think now that you saw the beginning with the apple and then you fell asleep, then you woke up at the end because that's all you've spoke about so far.
I mean, let's be honest. That's all that really happens in it, right?
I
right?
think I think we're doing the film a massive disservice at this point. Like,
Well,
let's let's talk about the film itself. Like we said, directed by Christopher Nolan. It's shot on IMAX, which, by the way, when I was going through the research for this, it kept coming up on the IMDb trivia. IMAX, IMAX. I fucking get it. I understand it was on IMAX. Also, it's the first time that Kodak have ever done a black and white print for IMAX, so that's pretty cool.
oh. You
Um,
and your black and white porn, mate.
I'll explain it again. The reason I love black and white is because it gives us the ability to see something in a way that most of us can't. Like when you watch a film in color, that's how we see things anyway. When you watch things in black and white, we don't see things like that. So it's cool to get a different perspective on things. I
Unless
love
you're
black and white.
colorblind. If you're colorblind, you can.
It's not necessarily black and white though.
How
If
do you
you're
know?
colorblind. I
How do
don't
you
know.
know? Exactly,
Hmm?
you don't know. Get this. See, when I was in school, my math teacher was colorblind, and he was talking about something on the whiteboard or whatever, right? And he's like, "This." So here we see we've got yellow, and I'm like, what? Yes. I thought you were colorblind. He's like, I am. He's like, so how'd you ken that's yellow? He goes, because when your mum tells you what your yellow is, it looks like that. Well, what I can see isn't the same as you, but what I
I
can
know it's
see, I know
yellow.
is yellow. And I was like, remembered it for the rest of my life, man.
So what he calls yellow could be green in his eyes,
Yeah,
but he's basically translating it to everybody or the
to him,
majority of the population. Aye.
that's
Aye.
yellow. It's
So
class, eh?
So that actually goes to show that they do see some color, they just don't see it properly.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind. Never mind.
Mad, eh?
What did Mick say there? I missed that.
He said, I'm so skint, I had a dream in black and white. Yeah, the old skint. What happened to that? I'm not even going to say. I'm not even going to say what I was going to say.
So
Skint.
again, with this being a Christopher Nolan drama, there is a bit of time hopping going on. This isn't a story that's told in a linear fashion.
No.
Now, I personally don't think it added anything to this film. I think that if it
Mhm.
was just told as a linear story,
Mhm.
it would have worked just as well, if not better. I think
Aye.
he's just had to put the Christopher Nolan stamp on it.
Yeah. Well, by the way, here's something for you because I read in an interview before actually going to see it that Robert Downey Jr. says Oppenheimer was a chance for him to see if he could actually still act after doing so many Marvel movies, right? So
I mean, 100%. I was going to say it was nice to see Robert Downey Jr. not being Tony fucking Stark for a change.
but there were certain moments I seen Tony trying to peek through, right? But I've got to say, on the whole, he did great at being someone else for a change and not Tony Stark. Because I think like Jeffrey Dean Morgan's done it, right? There comes a point where an actor plays such an iconic character, right, that everything you see them in after that point, they're just that same character and everything else. But if you go like look at Jeffrey Dean Morgan and you go before Negan, right, and
Mhm.
he was in Watchmen, he was in stuff like P.S. I Love You, Grey's Anatomy, and all that. He's so
P.S. I
different,
Love You is a great film, man.
right?
It's one
Class
of the
film.
ones that you don't tell people you like, but you
Right?
secretly do.
Class film. But see, right up to Negan, he was so many different. There was so much more depth to him. But then after Negan, now when you see him and everything, he's like, "Oh God, shit!" It's like, no, come back to us, man. And it was kind of nice to see that because Robert Downey Jr. and everything else has played Tony Stark, no matter what he's in.
Mhm.
That I've seen, sorry, and I say that I've seen right because Shuggy Grantos, in my opinion, was the same guy until you said go and watch what was the name of the film again?
Paddington 2.
Not Paddington 2. What was that thing he was in? And he absolutely wasn't Shuggy Grantos. What was it?
The Gentleman, maybe?
That's it. I thought, oh, okay, right now I see it. Robert Pattinson's another one. I thought he was just all flaky and snowflakes, but then I seen him as Batman.
I saw a video the other day and it was it was like every other Batman. It's like punch cop and mysteriously disappear. then it says, was it Patton Man or whatever they call Pattinson's Batman?
Uh-huh.
I was like, Patton Man, and he punches the cop, and then he just starts running like fuck. It shows you the total different level of Batman that he was playing, and he was good at it. Yeah.
He was decent, very much. Same with Andrew Garfield. Thought it was no all that as Spider-Man because he had big shoes to fill with my man Toby. But when I saw him in Hacksaw Ridge, I went, okay, I get it.
I've liked him since the Social Network.
Well, I thought Social Network was decent. It sucks how he got screwed over by what's his plus Jesse Eisenberg. But I thought he was decent in that. But then he went to play Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man.
Right, come on, Miyagi, get the chopsticks out.
I know. Do you see a wee fly there?
I can't. Your camera's good, man.
Thanks, man. The thing is, the fucking heat, man, brings all these stupid wee flies out. I hate flies. Where's Jeff Goldblum? So I thought Andrew Garfield and Amazing Spider-Man was just quite right, and I kind of put me off him a wee bit. But then I saw Hacksaw Ridge and thought
they should have just called it the All Right Spider-Man.
It's all right. Like, I've got nothing to complain about. He didn't do a bad job. It's just he had for me, he had such big shoes to fill. And if you're going to take away Spider-Man 4 and reboot it with the Amazing Spider-Man, you've already annoyed me. So I'm coming in annoyed. You know what I mean?
Then we go back to the attitude that you go into films with, can predetermine.
Totally. Because then when I watched it years later again, right, now that we've got Tom Holland, I know, right, okay, there's more Spider-Man. I've accepted it more. And I watched it and thought, I gave this such a bad rap the first time around, but I don't think I was fair. Do you know what
I mean, Mark Kermode, who's my favourite film critic, he went to see The Greatest Showman, and he basically gave it a bad review. They said it was boring, there was no memorable songs, blah blah blah. Then he went and seen it again and apologized for his previous review. He said he's like, I must have been in a bad mood because the songs are great, the film was great. It's The Greatest Showman. It's like your mood really can affect it. Now I went into this one with a really high expectations, and I knew what the film, how it had been described as, like a lot of men, essentially men talking in rooms. That's what this film is. But for me, it really worked. It did,
mate,
really work. But what makes that work is the performances.
Performances were good.
Everyone.
Let me just say this, right? Let me just say this. Somebody was sitting there, Christopher Nolan, right? He's like, "Hi, Chris. So I'm just looking at your script here, mate, and it's just all guys talking in rooms for ages, man. Folk are going to get really bored. So what do you propose we do?" In walks Florence Pugh. Mate, there's tits and then there's Florence Pugh, man. Every scene she's in, it's like, let's just get all these clays off you. Right, folks, there you go. There's the action you wanted.
It's like she walks in off the street and they're like, why did you even bother getting dressed this morning?
Right. I thought, is there a reason that every time we're seeing her in this, that she's naked? Because like nobody else is.
I have no complaints whatsoever.
I wasn't saying that. I'm just saying, like, it was. I just thought, was it a bit much? No, like I say, no complaints. But as far as the point in it, well, do you think it was just like, right, lads, the Kenyans are sitting through this. Here you go.
No. I think it was just to highlight the fact that Oppenheimer was not a perfect guy. You know, he wasn't. Although he was brilliant, he did have issues and flaws and things that he did that he shouldn't have done.
Aye, but they could have told us that with our clothes on. The power of suggestion.
I don't know. Sometimes we just like to see boobs. That's just
this is the point. This is because that's what I thought. I thought any minute my wife's going to pop in here in a minute. I'm going to be sitting here, and there's Florence Pugh on the big screen, completely in the buff, sitting up. I might add, doesn't happen a lot.
So again, the performances.
Hey,
Florence Pugh was really good.
Taking nothing away from her ability, she was good in it. I think she's good in everything. And I think she's one of those actresses that's like all committed to the role. So if the role says get naked, she gets naked, and she does it in a way that you remember when everybody thinks of Sharon Stone.
Yeah.
There's a way in which you can do it. If she's going to do it, she owns it, and she owned it.
There was, I mean, there's a lot of people in this film as well. A lot of pretty recognizable faces. Even if you don't know their name, you go,
Right?
"I've seen that
John
guy in a
Connor
million
was
times."
in it, and I was like, "You're the worst John Connor ever."
Oh, aye, that was Jason Clarke. Yep. But
Whoever
again,
looked at him and went, "Nah, that's John Connor."
he was awesome in it, like because you hated him. That was the point in that character. You're supposed to hate him. You had Tony Goldwyn as well. He's in the same room. He's the kind of guy at the head of the table, the guy for Ghost.
That's right.
You've
Aye.
obviously got Robert Downey
Sam.
Jr. You've got Cillian Murphy, who if he's not nominated for an Oscar, it's because he's a straight white guy. That's the only reason he's not getting nominated if that happens.
He was great.
Like I said, Robert Downey Jr. You've got, funnily enough, Benny Safdie shows up. Now, Benny Safdie is one of the guys who directed or wrote Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler. He was also in was it Good Time with Robert Pattinson? That was the one where he plays his brother. Robert Pattinson has a brother he's not quite all there. He's a bit dolly, and Benny Safdie, who is one of the directors of the film, plays that character as well. And I was watching it going, I've never seen this guy before, but he's actually pretty good, and he's fucking awesome in this as well. He played oh god, oh, this is going to annoy me because I had his name in my mind.
Who did he
before
play?
Came on. I'll find it right now.
Well, what film is it you're talking about?
I'm talking about Oppenheimer.
No, like he played, like you're thinking about another film that he was in.
No, the film
who
that
did
he
he
was
play in Oppenheimer? In Oppenheimer, he played Edward Teller.
Edward Teller. That's right.
Yeah.
And when he showed up, I was like, "Huh, it's Benny Safdie." But there are again, there's a lot of recognizable faces. Casey Affleck shows up. Matt Damon is strangely big in this film, isn't he?
Right. For the first time, I went, I could probably fight him and wonder if I'm going to get my head kicked in. Now, like I've never thought that about Matt Damon. I always thought I could fucking wipe him out easy, but this time I'm like,
but like, I mean, he was big to the point where I thought for a minute it was fucking Jesse Plemons.
hey, Matt Damon was fucking brilliant in that.
Yep, again, brilliant. Like I said, Casey Affleck showed up. He was good.
Aye,
you had
everybody was in it.
fucking the fella that played Albert Einstein. It's cool to see Albert Einstein on film. It's just as soon as you see him, you're like, "There's Big Albie."
Big Albie. And I'm right in thinking they weren't as tight as what the film makes it. I think there's a wee
I
bit
don't know
creative.
because I haven't looked properly historically into it.
Well, they knew each other, and at one point, Oppenheimer was Einstein's boss. Look, you became Einstein in the thumbnail. Look,
is that me?
Aye, I'm no as good as Matthewman, so I really tried. But see if you look right in the right hand corner, there's an Easter egg.
What? Wait a minute. Right. Oh, I see it. What I'm going to say, why did you choose that picture of yourself for Oppenheimer? Couldn't you have found one with a serious face? You're just like,
do you want to know the secret? I actually had a serious one, right? I went like that. I went because I took a picture of myself like that, and then I mixed it together, right? And I thought he looks too serious. People won't buy it. So then I went, it's that one. I thought folk will be more inclined to think that's me. I don't know what I actually look like, Oppenheimer.
But we need to talk about Cillian Murphy because I think this might well be his best performance ever.
Well, see at the end, mate, where his face is just kind of staring into the abyss. Like, I actually was moved, like as I'm sitting there watching it on the big screen, and the music's playing. Albert Einstein walks away from him, and he's just looking right into the abyss, and his eyes tell such a story. I actually was like,
the whole film takes place on his face. Like the way he can
there's a film right here.
the way he can portray emotion just using his eyes and his face is just I don't think I've seen another actor be able to do that as well as him recently.
Well, and by the way, he's how you get directors that are like, these are my guys. he is most definitely one of Nolan's guys. He's been in the
Is this
Dark
the
Knight trilogy,
seventh time or something that he's worked?
probably Inception. I mean,
Or maybe the fifth.
Murphy's been in tons. I mean, he played Scarecrow in Batman Begins.
He auditioned for Batman, which is really funny.
I don't know. People would have laughed at Robert Pattinson, right?
I don't know. Like, I've seen the audition tape. It's no cool. He's very, very good. He's brilliant in this, but I don't think he'd have been the best at Batman.
One of the first thing I ever saw him in was Red Eye.
Yeah. Red Eye. Have you ever seen Red Lights?
Is that one after it?
No. Red Lights is it's him, Sigourney Weaver, and Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro's a stage psychic that they're trying to basically take down as a fake. Mate, if you've never seen Red Lights, watch it. It's fucking awesome.
I'll need to check
so
it out.
everything, I think if it wasn't for Cillian Murphy, this film would not have been nearly as good. I think he absolutely carried the majority of the weight of that film on his shoulders, and he carried it well.
Yeah.
Josh fucking Hartnett, by the way.
I don't think we see him.
Where did he find his acting chops?
I don't think we see him in enough stuff anymore, by the way.
No, he was phenomenal. I never used to like him. Like, he used to annoy me. His voice used to annoy me. But when he showed up in this, I was like, see if they remade Indiana Jones, I'd want him to play him. That's how much I felt love towards him in this film. He looked the part. He looked strangely big. You know, like
like Matt Damon kind of.
Aye,
but he is a huge guy though.
Well, he's tall, but he's always been built like a high school football player sort of thing. But he just looked like he was a man. He popped up and was like, I quite fancy that fucking.
Yeah, he's like, I'm Josh Hartnett, and I've not been in films for a wee while. Well, hold on the new till I pump you.
So stop it! You're giving me a Hartnett on. But
it was
again.
The cast.
Whenever he was on screen, he if he didn't steal the scene, he certainly helped carry it. He was awesome. Much praise to Josh Hartnett.
Emily Blunt.
Her job for most of that film was to sit in the back and look raging.
And she'd done it, but even right at the very end, it's like it goes to shake a hand. Why was she still raging with him? Why was she still raging with him again? That must have been the bit where I fell asleep.
I'd rather not tell you on here because it's probably something that people would want to find out for themselves in the film.
She was like, I'm no shaking your hand. Get that out my fucking face.
Aye.
And he's like, fine, so be it.
Aye. You're just sitting there going, there's a strong woman right there.
But she was very good. It's a shame she never took the same initiative as Florence Pugh, but she was very good.
You want to get your Emily Blunt out? Oh man, that was horrible.
We're in trouble, man.
So, and like, even Casey Affleck. What was funny when Casey Affleck showed up, it was like they don't show his face. Like you're supposed to be wondering who is this guy. As soon as he spoke, I was that's Casey Affleck. Mm-hmm. He's got a very distinctive voice, quite a whispery, raspy voice. And again, he's doing like anything he shows up in, he's doing really fucking well. He was in Interstellar as well, so he's worked with Nolan before.
Do you know what's funny? I'll tell you this: I've never seen Interstellar. I've got it on Blu-ray. I've yet to watch it, and the reason being is because I said to my mate Callum that we'd watch it together, and we've just never had the time, and I'm refusing to watch it until then. So I will.
I get that. I totally get that. The thing, I hated Interstellar first time I seen it, but again, I've had the wrong attitude. I've since watched it again multiple times. It's now one of my favorite films. So again, another example of how your mindset can change how you feel about a film. So there's going to be a lot of Oscars on the go for this film. There's going to be Oscars for Best Actor, hopefully, for obviously Cillian Murphy. Sound design. The sound design in this film is really
and I'm surprised amazing. It wasn't actually bloody Zimmer that usually is.
Yeah, I know.
Right, and it has a Zimmer feel to it. It definitely has a Zimmer feel to it.
I was listening to going, oh yes, big hands, and then I read after it was like, oh, it wasn't big hands. It was wee feet.
It's Stevie Zimmer. By the way, Josh Peck's in it as well.
Who's Josh Peck?
But do you reckon Josh?
I don't know what that is.
Boy for Drake and Josh. He was fat and quite ugly.
I
And
don't
then
know what Drake
he like.
and Josh is.
Have you ever seen Mean Creek?
I've maybe seen a bit of it. I've not seen it all.
Mind the fat kid that was the bully that gets knocked into the water?
I would need to.
Oh, come on, man. You don't know who Josh Peck is.
Josh Peck.
Get on with you. Let's get on with you. He's in iCarly and all that. He's in Turner and Hooch. He plays the wee boy in Turner and Hooch.
All right, so he's the bully.
Aye, in Mean Creek, but he's Josh from Jake and Josh.
Look at that Disney face he used to have.
I know.
Doesn't have it anymore.
Nah. Aye, did you know? Oh.
No, man. Remember, I'm a lot older than you.
But you've still seen stuff. You've seen stuff that's way older than me. You know?
Aye, but I didn't watch Zack and Cody. You know what I mean?
I only seen it because my wee brother watched it, but I appreciated the Sprouses from Big Daddy. Frankenstein!
What a weird accent he's got in that film, eh?
I know. And what's the deal with Adam Sandler putting paper down every time the boy pisses himself? It's like he's not Doug.
It's a great running joke throughout that film, man.
By the way, Gary Oldman as well.
Aye, that was a surprise. Yep.
And how good? How
Awesome.
good? Even
Awesome.
nodded at Kennedy stuff. I know.
There's
I
feel, it's funny. They're like, there's this young guy quite fancies himself as a big cheese. He's giving us some trouble.
What's his
His
name?
name is like something Kennedy. You're just like,
the last proper president.
Funnily enough, this actually brings me back to another point I was going to make. I felt there was moments in this film where it felt like a Oliver Stone film, like JFK or something. The way things were playing out on screen, kind of jumping back and forward, and the black and white to color again and stuff. It felt quite Oliver Stoney.
I felt as well that a lot of this is very quotable, right? Like when Gary Oldman says to Cillian Murphy, he goes, it says something like, "You think they're angry at you?" He says, "You're not the one that you made the bomb. I'm the one that like authorized it or something like that.
I'm the one that dropped it, basically."
Aye, I said I'm the one that dropped it. Aye, so
I should wear a T-shirt that says that 100%. Standing in a lift. Who was that?
Stupid wee fly, which is funny. It brings me to Heisenberg, is the guy that he's kind of opposed. That's on the side of the Russians. Also, it kind of hints at it as well that they dropped that bomb on Hiroshima, which I'll get a wee. That they tanned Hiroshima, right?
Ugh.
Even though they were going to actually be like, "How we get up," right? But what happened was they were just like, "Nah, the world needs to see this," so they made an example of them. Do you know?
That's the thing that really kind of fucks you up. Is that whole idea of what if they just told the Japanese that they were going to drop this if they didn't surrender?
I know.
They would probably, if they seen footage yet, they'd be like, "Fuck, right, okay, maybe." But they do have that kind of samurai mindset where no, I'm fighting. We'll fight to the death, no matter what. Unless you drop a bomb like that, then they're like,
aye.
But it was like, what if maybe if they had just said, "Listen, we've got this bomb. We're going to drop it tomorrow unless you surrender." Maybe they would never have had to drop it.
I think it was getting dropped politically. It was getting dropped.
I'll say it's funny how America seems to be the kind of they've got the kind of moral authority over nuclear weapons in the world when they're the only ones that have ever fucking used them.
I know. And here's the thing, like 200,000 men, women, and children were all like turned into pavement dust, and the ones that weren't looked like the Elephant Man for a week, then died. Right?
Radiation.
How is that fair? Right? Regardless of what's going on politically, and when you watch it, it's like the film almost. You're watching these people in this wee courtroom getting it all apart. You know, if we don't do it now, man, they're going to do it to us. We'll save more folk if we just tan them. You're not tanning. You're not tanning folk.
Maybe tanning's the wrong word to use in this particular situation.
Fair play. But you know, I mean, they're dropping explosives on people that don't deserve it. They're just people that are going about their day. and they end up like, oh, there's me just gone down the street, going to get a pack of ham or something, whatever they were doing in their days. What's that? Boom! Like, what? Mate, I just came out to get some fucking ham. Like, what?
No, I've got smoked ham. Fucking raging.
Sake, man. Chloe, the hat suits you. Thanks, man. It's purely for Barbenheimer. It's for the all.
The thing is, you're such a dick that you can actually pull that off.
Thanks, man.
Like if I wore that, I'd just look like a complete fud. You wear it and get away with it. I don't know why.
Thanks.
I don't know. Maybe you've just got some inherent fuddery about you that it suits you.
Fuddery. Aye, that's what it is, man. It's the fuddery. It's my smoked ham. So they call it smoked ham. I feel like fucking Perry.
Can I please have a jam sandwich, please, Miss Patterson? Please, thank you.
Hey, cheeky girl. Your parents are shagging. Todd says, long live the bucket hat. Todd, my man. Hey, if anyone else loves a bucket hat, I'm sure I've seen a good few pictures with Todd Surprise playing guitar wearing a bucket hat. Maybe not a Barbie one, but I'm definitely
Todd,
sure I've seen.
You have to get yourself a Barbie one, son. That's the next step for the Todd.
I think we should get some Barbenheimer ones. It's like, I just dropped it.
It's just one of them with a wee mushroom cloud coming in.
Like the mushroom cloud that I made up here above your head. I wasn't sure if that would look like a mushroom cloud or if it would just look like a chicken nugget, but mushroom cloud.
It's a bit chicken nuggety. Look at it. It's making me hungry.
Mate, it'd be some proper sorcery if you'd done that and pulled it away and managed to tan it.
Mate, I'm surprised. That's the first thing I've actually managed to reach up and grab the right bit of the screen. Normally it's like, oh.
So, Cillian Murphy actually looks better than what I believe Oppenheimer did.
But look at the eyes. Look at the eyes.
Nice.
That's a guy that's got issues, man.
But like I says for the beginning, man, he was ready to kill someone, and everybody's just like, "Oh, we'll just let that go." He was ready to tan somebody, and then what? Fast forward 5 years, and he tan somebody. Look,
you can't keep bringing up that picture, man. That shit terrifies me.
Does it actually?
Aye. It's only two things scare me, and one is nuclear war.
Aye. Is it just because you didn't want to like have blisters on your skin and that? Oh, legend, man.
Legend. They do. Sweet. The thought of that does terrify me. Like, if that was to ever happen, I just want to go out in the first wave. I don't even want to see one in the distance. I want it to land on my fucking balls. That's if they ever decide to go down that route. I want nothing to do with it. But yeah, you ruined my joke, man. I was quoting Austin Powers there when I said only two things scare me, and one is nuclear war. You were supposed to say, what's the other? Carnies, circus folk, nomads, smell like cabbage, small hands.
Hey, my son said to me the other day, he was talking about wishes, and I was like, oh, okay, we're walking through the shops, and he's like, if I had wish, I wish that I could never be killed, right? Except from when the world explodes. I'm like, oh, okay, why then? He goes, because if the world explodes, I don't want to just be floating about space.
Just like,
well, I did ask for immortality. I'm just floating about space.
This is gosh.
Even he's like, that'd be boring as shit. Just take me. He also said to me, what was it? He goes, Dad, do you know you can actually skydive without a parachute? He says, but you can only do it once. And then he says, Dad, I can actually jump higher than the Eiffel Tower. I was like, oh, really? He goes, aye, because the Eiffel Tower can't jump.
Fucks.
I was like, where are you getting all of this, man? And then he goes, aye, he goes, Dad, see if you were driving and you saw, I'll ask you at J Mac. If you're driving and you see an old man and a little girl, what do you hit?
The brake.
I said an old man. He says, why not the brake?
Oh, fuck's sake.
He gets me, man. He gets me. He just comes out with stuff, and I'm just like, what? What the break? It's just like the old man's going to do.
See your anonymous ring that you've got on. See for the side, it looks like one of the ectomorphicons for the Power Rangers film, the original Power Rangers film. You know, like the big ant or the scorpion. It's got that look about it.
It totally does. That's so cool, man. It feels so heavy as well. And these are all made by a guy.
Oh, I fucking hope so. Otherwise, you wouldn't be wearing it.
No, but like it's his own wee business. He makes them and that. And I thought, class. I'm going to buy more because there's some more cool stuff. It's quite banging in it.
Is that like the Eye of Sauron? Is that what that is?
Well, I don't know if that's what he intended it to be, but that's why I got it. I was like,
right,
that'll sit right next to my wee Lord of the Rings ring that Hulk Hogan's got on his bicep. What a rim! What a rim I've got!
By the way, see the just the image of Cillian Murphy as Oppenheimer with that hat on. How sinister does that hat make him look? Unlike your fucking Barbie hat, which
he's hatching a dastardly plan.
It's like I mean, he looks. I mean, if you were to like, if you didn't know what film that was, you didn't know what character was, you would assume that's a villain.
I would say straight up that he's doing something dodgy to stop folk trying to compete against his oil prices.
Right. He's good. He's definitely got that look about him. But
so there will be blood. Feel.
Aye, yeah.
Where's Daniel Day-Lewis?
What was that? What was that character's name? Daniel
Day-Lewis.
No, that was the actor, the character that he played. Daniel.
Can't mind.
I've abandoned my child. Can't remember his name.
There he is with Big Einie, look.
Big Einie. All right, Einberg, what's happening?
Einie, yes, top shagger, look at you. Robert Downey Jr., again, nice to see him doing something that isn't calling on some AI robot to...
It was phenomenal. You got anybody else? Any other photos to look at?
Well, there's Big Oppie himself.
We've seen Big Oppie.
Hey, know who he looks like there? Nosferatu.
Hi, it does.
Mate, the accident or not?
Do you know what? I found out recently that Nosferatu is not actually the name of the vampire.
Aye.
I'm sure it's something like Shrek.
Out my swamp. Well, that's just like everybody that says, "Oh, I'm dressing up as it for Halloween." It's like, no, you're dressing up as Pennywise.
Oh no, I'm talking shite. It's Count Orlok. Shrek.
Count Orlok. Shrek. Look at me. What am I? I watched that the other day.
On that note, Nosferatu is coming out. Well, sorry, production state is in development, but we do have a cast list. Directed by Robert Eggers. The rest could be interesting.
Ham and Eggers.
So we've got Aaron Taylor Johnson. We have Bill Skarsgård as Count Orlok.
See, ever since he done fucking Pennywise, man, he's in everything. He's everything weird now.
It's because he's awesome. Like he is genuinely fucking awesome.
Willem Dafoe's in it.
Have you seen Barbarian?
Have I seen Barbarian? I went into that blind, thinking, "Oh, here's Bill Skarsgård. He's the creep." No,
he was placing that in a totally different way. He was actually a sound guy.
And you thought he was going to actually be the dafty.
I know. It was funny because I watched it. I'm like, I'm really liking him in this, and then he just gets minced. I was like, eh.
I know. I thought he was going to be the bad guy. And here's another thing. Remember 10 years ago, Alexander? Remember 10 years ago when Alexander Skarsgård was the Skarsgård, and then 10 years before that when it was actually Stellan Skarsgård that was the Skarsgård. And now Bill seems to have trumped a lot of them, man. What about the wee ugly one for Vikings? Where's he at?
What one's that?
The other one.
Ugly Skarsgård. That's a horrible name to give somebody.
It's the one that looks like next week on the show. Every time.
Who's the ugly Skarsgård?
There's Bill, there's Alexander, and there's the other one, and he's the one that's in Vikings, and it's like he's got a patch of hair and all that.
Is it Walter?
I think so. It's no the dad. It's no Penny. It's Sam. No, it's Gustav. Of course, it's Gustav.
Gustav.
Gustav. Mate, of course it's Gustav.
Do you know he looks a bit like the boy for RoboCop?
Wee bit. He was in Oppenheimer. He was in Oppenheimer.
Oh fuck!
He played one of the victims after the bombing. Guy for RoboCop.
Oh, Lindsay
Aye.
Lohan.
Aye. So he was in Oppenheimer. What's the chances?
How well researched are we?
It's like, aye, that weird one. He's in Oppenheimer.
Oh, by the way, this is something maybe I haven't actually looked into this yet, right? But see the guy that's Oppenheimer's kind of pal in it, the wee Jewish guy with the specs.
The spy.
No, the other scientist guy that he meets on the train at the beginning.
Yeah, the one that's like, you know all these languages here, and then puts an orange in his mouth. That was weird.
Aye, mate, I might be wrong here, but is that the elf for the Santa Claus?
Probably. All right. You mean what's his face elf?
It was a Barnaby, no Barnaby, but Bernard. Bernard the elf.
That was it. He was in WWE not too long ago. Probably would be, man. Well, let me just find out the now, right? Santa Claus. But by the way, they made a TV series of that, and I think it was crap.
Shocker.
The Santa Claus. Let's find it. Right there it is. Right. So let's find Bernard. There he is. Right. So David Krumholtz. He was in Oppenheimer. You were right. Isidore Rabbi.
I think is it correct. A fat suit or is he fat now?
He's fat now. He looks nothing like.
Because I was thinking if that's a fat suit, it was a fucking gidgeon. He's just fat.
Class fat suit. Yeah. Of the Sarsgaard brothers, if I said one of these is your dealer, what one are you picking? if you're around these three guys and one, there's a hum of weed. You can't whose pockets you're searching, eh? Just winding, man. Next week on the show, Gustav.
He's Gustav, he's not on something.
No, I'm just winding. Hey, that's probably he's probably a proper sound guy. Good actor.
He was really good in Oppenheimer, apparently.
He was in Oppenheimer, man. The world is talking about Barbenheimer, which there's nothing. Do you know that they're doing Saw Patrol next? I know. Paw Patrol movie.
Seriously?
Saw Patrol.
Are you being serious?
Mate, Paw Patrol and the new Saw start the same week and they're calling it Saw Patrol.
Right, where else can we take this? We're going to start doing it deliberately just so that you can make good fucking mashups.
Totally. Well, I think the reason they're called Barbenheimer, obviously they both released the same week, but they were both... Mate, get this. I knew that Super Mario Bros. Movie was going to catapult our sales figures for the cinema. Right? I knew that it was going to do good for cinema, and it did. Barbenheimer has smashed it, and I mean leathered it.
Really?
More than half, mate. More than doubled it. Which I thought, wow. Which is a good sign for cinema, by the way, because it really needed that injection.
How do they keep this momentum going, though? Because you don't get a Christopher Nolan film every year. You don't get a film like Barbie every year or every 3-4 months, which is what it needs. There needs to be a constant stream of that, but there's going to be fuck all for a while now because of the SAG-AFTRA strike.
Mate, I don't know. The AI is working pretty well.
But then they won't be allowed to do that because you're using the likeness.
Well, unless money talks, mate, and if they give them just enough,
I think they're more concerned about their rights as opposed to how much money they're getting. I think it's more.
Oh no, it's always money. Always money.
No, I think it's more about like healthcare and security and kind of like America is so far behind the rest of the world when it comes to workers' rights. America's a fucking joke, to be honest, for most things. I mean,
how you feel, man?
Some of the people are nice. and it's got some nice bits. But all in all, it's fucked. Like America's, I don't understand the aspiration for everywhere else to be like America. America's a fucking disgrace for the most part. So they're basically looking for the stuff that we get, like more paid holidays per year, and more of this and more of that, more medical benefits, more better pension contributions, shit like that. I think I could be wrong, but the only way to fix that is to give them it. I mean, all the people that really make it, that really make the money for the film industry, they've got enough money that they don't really need to work again.
Hmm.
So that their strike for those people could go on forever. On the plus side, it could be a chance for little up and comers that aren't members of SAG-AFTRA to come up and find their spot.
And I
But
say more power to them.
aye, so there might be some good things that come out of it. If anybody wants me to be in it, then gives a shout. Yeah.
Andy says AI could be described as identity theft using someone's image, surely. Well, I just heard Freddie Mercury singing "My Hair'll Go On," so.
And don't call me
by the
Shirley.
way, nice beaver. Thanks. I got it made.
You ever been in a cockpit before, son? Ever seen a grown man naked?
Leslie Nielsen, what a legend. Well, by the way, Barbie. So everybody kind of wanted you to be talking about Barbie in this episode. Now you know, seen it. What just from someone that has seen it, what would make you go, I didn't want to go see it?
It's called fucking Barbie. That's why I don't want to go see it. I wouldn't go see Barbie. I wouldn't go see My Little Pony. I wouldn't go see.
I knew that was
Care Bears.
Hey, don't diss the Care Bears, mate. They were solid, man.
Gummy Bears, though, I'd go see Gummy Bears.
Well, by the way, I watched Barbie because I went in to watch it, and I wanted to know what the fuss was about. People kept coming out crying, and I thought, what are you eating a Barbie for? There's a lot in it that's like proper screw guys, get it up, use guys, right?
Aye.
It's definitely full of that.
Hard to escape that now, really.
Right. But I looked at it from the perception of my wife bringing my daughters to see it, and there's a lot. Danny DeVito's wife's in it, and anything she's in, you can't be like, it gets a pass.
Rhea Perlman.
Especially now that she's a bit older, she's even more lovable. But it's fully a lot of that stuff. I hate that I don't hate, but I dislike that Ken is literally Barbie's love interest. But she's like proper friends on them and being like, no, I don't need a man. Like that. What?
I heard the review of it the other day, and it kind of intrigued me a wee bit. I was thinking maybe I should see this. It sounds like it might actually be fun.
Donna Pollock.
Pardon me.
Andy said, I would rather like. Aye.
Rather like Doug poo off stinging nettles than watch Barbie.
Well, there's a really funny part in it where Margot Robbie's crying as Barbie. She's like, I'm ugly. And it pauses, and Helen Mirren, who's been narrating it the same way Danny DeVito narrates in Matilda, she goes, pause right here. Like the movie just freeze frames, and she's like, note to producers, if you'd like to like make the point that someone's ugly, you probably shouldn't hire Margot Robbie. She's doing a terrible job at making this look like it. Do you know what I mean?
Sounds about right.
Just like note to producers, like if you want to portray somebody that's ugly, you probably shouldn't hire Margot Robbie.
It's funny, like you look at films like it was one of my favorites when I was growing up, and it was She's All That, where they get this lassie who's clearly fucking gorgeous, put her hair in a fucking bun, and put glasses on her and go, ew, she's minging. It's like that. No, she's not. You knew she was going to be stunning as soon as she walked in these stairs.
Lander, it's a spoiler. No, it was mental, but I loved it, especially when she gets her vagina in the end. It's like Ken has a stump. They both have stumps until the very end. It's weird as well. You can just kind of leave Barbie Land and see when Will Ferrell's in it.
Is there some kind of crossover between Barbie world and the real world or something?
Well, you can just go there,
right? But
it's like going to the North Pole. Like imagine, see Elf. See when Elf goes to the North Pole. It's like that.
Aye, right, okay. That's not necessarily not charming or not enchanting. as
Yeah,
we're always looking for, I suppose. Like
yeah.
like the North Pole and Elf looks fucking dreadful, but you kind of love it for that.
Mate, there's
Bye,
a scene.
buddy. Hope you find your dad.
There's a
Thanks, Mr.
scene.
Narwhal.
There is a scene in it where Margot Robbie, like, she comes straight from Barbie Land and she's skating across like the beach, and a guy just comes up and they're all like, holy shit, looking at her, right? All like proper oozing over her. And a guy just comes up and belts her arse, right? And she turns around and punches him, right? And I seen someone like filming, because obviously that day on set, someone was filming from behind. So they see all the cameras, they see Margot Robbie, and the guy slaps her ass. And I thought, imagine like signing up to be an extra. And they're like, right, you come here. Right. Today's shot is you're going to slap Margot Robbie's arse, right? All right. And we're going to pay you. Probably give you catering, right? And yeah, they're just like slap. And they're like, no, we didn't get that right. Right. Take two. Slap. The guy's like, sure, you don't need me to take another 40 take. Do you know what I mean? Like, some guy was paid to stand there and slap Margot Robbie.
Hey, that's me just messaged you, by the way. You fancy bringing that video up? You've seen it. I know you've seen it, but I think it'd be good fun to show in this particular episode. Just
oh, there
it's there.
I did think about bringing that up. I did
get
think about
get it brought up. Get it brought up. In the meantime, though, what we'll talk about is the fact that what's really eye-opening about this film is how they treat Oppenheimer from one point to the next.
Mm-hmm.
From one point, he's the golden boy, to the next point where he's essentially a scapegoat for political progression and political nonsense that goes on in the background. And it's all planned out. Like years and years in advance, it's all planned out. It's fucking crazy what happens to people.
People call them conspiracy theories. But are they really, though?
Most of them are. But you do get some conspiracy theories that turn out to be true. And they go, see, they must all be true. It doesn't work like that. But
can you hear that? Can you hear that? Did you hear that?
We can never hear it first time. So what today is, do what you were going to do, and then do what you always do to fix it.
Unbelievable, eh? Unbelievable. Just to say, actually, no, it's not this exact one. Here we go.
Just so you know, a disclaimer: right? This is not me in the video.
I know. I totally like. It's something that would most definitely be a user. You hear it now, aye?
Yeah.
Right, here we go. Copyright strike number 1. Here we go.
I love the fact that everybody in the cinema starts chuckling at a moment in the film that's so tense and so important historically. And this guy chose that moment to fucking let rip right on the zero. And he starts chuckling to himself, and then the whole cinema just starts like not laughing out loud. I think if everybody laughed out loud, it wouldn't be as funny. It's the fact that everybody's like.
Well, here's the thing. You said that you hate people making noise in cinema and that you dislike when people cheer for the heroes. So would this 100%. Be different?
That's very different. That is very fucking. That's the definition of tension breaker right there. Would I be annoyed if I was there? Maybe. But and speaking of that, the fucking couple sitting next to me, Jesus Christ. If your face wasn't scary enough.
Look, actually sounds like my pillow.
I know. I was going to say that. The couple sitting next to me, who were like probably in their 50s, right? Mate, they'd brought in like fucking meal deals for the petrol station, right? Like, I'll be honest, like I snuck in a can of juice and a fucking what do you call it, a Kit Kat, right? That's all I had. I was like, this isn't a popcorn film, like.
Get them out.
They're sitting there fucking eating like baguettes and packets of McCoys and shit. Like, what the fuck?
Well, by the way,
saying?
Let me just say this: I don't mind people bringing their own stuff, right? Really, I I know it's
No,
no
no,
good for us.
it was the noise. You need to consider the noise level that's going to come off of the stuff that you're bringing in. Like I had
Well,
a can of juice. What I did was I opened it during the trailers, so I don't need to do
it's,
it during the
it's
film.
not
It's
even that though.
consideration.
It's not even that. It's the fact that they'll bring in their own shit and then leave it all over the fucking floor. Like at least put your fucking wrappers in the bin. If we're gonna be picking up shit, can we pick up the shit that you've bought first? No shit you've bought in Fairs.
I left mine in the seat pockets. I left
Motherfucker.
I left them in the juice bit.
Right. And by the way, I remember going in to watch, can't remember what it was, Black Adam or something. And a wee Ned came in doing the front and he'd obviously went to like KFC or whatever, right? So we're all smelling that hot food, right? And then he's got his chips and it's like a shaking thingy. So he pours it while the film's on, pours it. And then gives his chips a shake. He keeps shaking them. And I'm like, see if you don't stop fucking shaking them, mate, I'm going to fucking put these chips up your arse. Sorry, mate. Like, what an absolute fucking walloper.
Nah, nae hot food, nae smelly food. The
Need to smell like the top
the only smell you want to smell at cinema is popcorn.
popcorn or cheese. Hot cheese.
It depends what kind of hot cheese we're talking about.
And hot dog. Hot dog.
Hot dog. Plenty of them in Hiroshima in 1945. Fuck me. I disgusted
Hiroshima.
myself with that one.
But
What about the scene where they're deciding where to drop them?
I know. It's like, oh no, a vacation there. I thought, oh, that's a bit out of order. I thought that's out of order.
I remember I was actually sitting there and I put my hand to my face. I was shaking my head. I'm like, you're fucking joking me. If this is even mildly true, that's fucking disgraceful.
No, we'll not kill 200,000 folk there because that's where I go on my holidays.
So that's where I went. That's where I went on my honeymoon. It's a nice place. Leave that lane. It's like, is that how shallow the decision was about how many civilians to kill and where? It was fucking disgusting. Just disgusting.
Can you imagine if politicians that basically create the wars, etc., were made to fight in the octagon?
I bet me thinks it's a good idea, but could you imagine Rishi Sunak versus Vladimir Putin? That's gone one way, man. That has gone one way, and it's not the way that anybody wants. Although I would want it a wee bit because I'd rather Rishi Sunak wasn't here. But Putin's winning most fights. The guy's a fucking KGB agent. He's killed more people with his bare hands than any other politician in the world right now.
At least he done it with his bare hands. I mean, they've all got fucking mixes.
Joe Rogan made the point. Joe Rogan made the point once though. Is that what if it was only millionaires' sons that had to go to war? It wouldn't happen.
No, not a chance.
Right? What's Mick Dick saying?
Mick Dick. I remember going to see the first Venom. And when the switch off your phone ad came on, the part where Mark Strong goes, boo, I shat myself and went, oh, you bastard. And people started laughing. And he says, hot dogs out of Basket Cinema are banging. Cheers, my man. Same hot dogs as everywhere else, really. We just heat them up. Okay. So basically, Craig Tara is going to be a safe zone from it.
Because everybody goes there on the holiday. Could you imagine that? Like 20, you've had 28 days later, 28 weeks later, 28 months later, it's folk trying to get to Craig Tara.
Syrian, man. Absolute Syrian. I enjoyed Oppenheimer. I think I gave it something like 6 or 7 out of 10. And mainly, pardon me, it's because I wanted to see some gangsters like tanning folk and that, and I never. But that's just personal.
Okay.
It is a personal experience. I'm sure I gave it that. Let me just double check. Because I remember going, wow, I felt moved. No, I gave it a 9. I gave it a 9. I gave it a 9. Turns out I liked it. Well,
that's where I'm at. The only reason I wouldn't give it a 10 is because I don't think the non-linear storytelling worked particularly well.
Aye. It was good. You like your films that are boring as fuck, the way.
You're really selling this, mate.
No, this was quite class. It was long, right? And again, it's all talking. Like if you want to go, if you're not into just going to see folk talk, like nobody's fighting, nobody like there's boobs, right?
Could somebody please soundbite that? That could be used. Ow, bit my tongue. That could be used in so many scenarios. Man, just like, oh, those boobs.
I mean, it's like they seen folk like us coming in and went, we're gonna have to put the boobs in. We need.
You got to get some Florence babes.
I know. I thought that was behind her. I thought she only done that in her early days, but no.
Florence Pugh is a very, 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 very good actress. You ever seen
She's a
Midsummer?
bitch. Yes, and nobody liked that I know. And I'm like,
I loved it.
I thought it was all
I
right.
thought it was fucked.
I thought it was weird when she's like, "Oh, this is shit," and they're all like, "Ah!" round about her. I thought, "What are you all greeting for? Stop fake greeting to make her feel worse." Because but I quite liked that the folk were getting done in and all that. I like stuff. Mate, I watched a weird movie the other night called Men. Have you seen Men?
Do you know I actually put it on, but I never finished it.
Oh, mate, finish it. Oh, if you want something that's, I mean, to be honest, I said to the wife, because we're always like, "Oh, what are we going to watch?" I says, "Sit down. I'm just going to put a film on. I'm not going to tell you the name of it. I'm not going to tell you anything about it. You're just going to go in cold, and we're just going to see where it takes us, right?" I don't know that much about it. All I know is what it's called, and that her husband died. I was howling at parts, like
laughing or grating.
Laughing.
You don't cry. I don't think you've got tear ducts. You fucking psychopath. Never seen you cry. Never seen you cry. Even at like the saddest moments on this podcast, where remember the Still Game episode where I couldn't even get through it. It was an hour-long show, and I was crying for about fucking half an hour, like to the point where I couldn't even get words out. It was just sobbing, like
like Sylvester Stallone.
That was me.
To be fair, like there's nothing really that's that sad.
There is though. It just needs to hit you in the right spot. That's, in fact, I'm going to make that my personal goal, is to try and find a film that will actually make you fucking sad and cry.
Mate, oh no, I feel sad watching Titanic, mate.
No, like I mean something that actually like it invokes an emotional response for you to the point where you've got wet tears running down your face.
There was a film I felt like that.
Twitchy chin.
The Shack. No, it's called The Shack. That fucked me up for weeks. Have you ever seen The Shack?
Is that the thing? Is that not a fucking Christian film?
Kinda, aye, but fuck me. That was tough. That was a tough watch.
Aye.
Did you watch it?
No, I've not seen it.
Watch it.
I read the synopsis. I was like, that sounds like a Christian propaganda film.
No.
Which I actually, what was I watched something within the last 6 months. I watched something and realized it was a Christian propaganda film after I finished it. And I kind of made what it was.
It's good when they do that to you, when they try and brainwash you, but you didn't realize it.
Well, I realized as soon as I got to the end, but I can't. What fucking film was it?
Was it that thing where
Nefarious?
Nah.
Nefarious. It was nefarious. It was like, it's the one where there's a guy. It's a serial killer played by Sean Patrick Flannery, and he's in jail and he's getting interviewed by a psychologist who has to determine whether or not he's mentally fit to be executed the next day. And basically, he is essentially saying that he's possessed.
Nice.
And there's almost like Primal Fear. There's two personalities that come out when he's talking to this guy. Like one of them's the demon, one of them's the normal guy who seems just completely distraught at the situation that he's in. Then he switches to the demon, who is just lavishing the attention that he's getting. And I watched it with my mic dive, and it was really, considering it was just two guys talking in a room for most of it, it was actually pretty decent. Then I got to the end and I was like, this is Christian propaganda. But I enjoyed it. I wasn't sucked in by it, but I enjoyed it. Although, no, I was. In fact, I put it in the group chat. I was like, I've just watched a film that's made me question my faith. Remember that? I put it in a group chat in the witching hour.
Don't recall, man.
Fuck, that's unusual. Normally it's me that forgets everything, and you're going, I fucking tell you.
You're like,
wait a minute, I'll find it.
You're like, you're like are we podcasting tonight? I'm like, aye. You're like, oh, I didn't even know. I'm like, here's you suggesting the fucking episode, you
Guys, when was the last when was the last time that happened? You know, like now we're at the point now where I assume every Sunday we're doing something. It's just what it is. Sometimes I do forget. So like, no mind, we're reviewing that film that we were sent the screener for. Aye.
Mate, I get the link ready for you to ask for it. So that I just hit paste the minute you ask. I'm like, and here it comes, paste.
Oh, I saw something the other day. The guy that invented copy and paste died recently. And all the comments were just folk copying and pasting the headline.
No. Oh, shit. Oh my man. So hey, I when I see a Christopher Nolan film coming out, I'm like, I like it. I loved Dunkirk. Thought Dunkirk. That Cillian Murphy was in that.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to try and watch Tenet again. I think it's one of his weaker ones.
Tenet.
Yeah, I'm going to try that one again and see if I can get through it.
Sometimes he makes stuff and you're like, calm down,
Like, I remember,
Nolan, man.
like, see when it started. Like, I remember the opening scene felt like The Dark Knight Rises, something like that. Like with the Bane setting something up that's pretty fucking catastrophic and horrid. That's what the beginning felt like, and then the time started reversing and stuff. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm too tired for this, motherfucker. But I will. I'll revisit that one.
Sometimes Nolan just needs to calm the fuck down. It's like I didn't need my brain to be turned inside out like mince. Just
I'm going to watch The Prestige again.
Why?
It's Christopher Nolan.
But why do I watch it again?
Because I remember thinking it was all right. It's probably awesome now. Again, I'm a bit older, different mindset. It's probably fucking awesome. I wonder if I can still make that face that I'm making on Mac.
Aye. Mick says the guy who invented autocorrect has died. His fun fair is next Monday. Monkey.
Oh, Mick, you're a cheeky chappy.
Class. Aye, so Oppenheimer was class. I thought, less talking next time, Nolan, right? So here's twisting the world upside down, reversing time, making a guy's eyeballs fall out. And here's folk just talking. Let's meet it here. Let's get somewhere in the middle.
You nearly David Brented that one, like.
Let's just get somewhere in the middle, my man. Right? Dunkirk was fucking excellent. So,
I haven't
do you
seen
know what?
Dunkirk.
Have you not? I've seen it in IMAX. I went with Callum, and it was phenomenal. It's the story of Dunkirk. No way.
What I thought.
Tom Hardy's in it. A great cast. But by the way, do you know a film that we should actually review? And I'm actually considering paying like 34 quid for a Blu-ray of it because I want it on Blu-ray. Go on DVD with the booklet and all that. But 13 Ghosts.
Oh, right.
Mate, there's so much backstory in there that is not covered in that one film. I think there could have been so much more to that.
I think you spoke about it before, saying there could be a Netflix series kind of discussing the origins of each of the 13.
Yeah, or even movies, mate. Like look at the Juggernaut. The guy, it's a wee boy essentially that killed his parents and would hiding among all the old cars and stuff. Turned into a serial killer and would chop folk up and hide them in the scrappies, right? Until he got shot by all the cops, and then he comes back as a ghost and starts tanning folk. So, I think there's more to that. So I'm gonna try and get the Blu-ray of that. And I don't know about paying 30 odd quid, man. They days are gone for me when you buy movies at that price. But the Blu-ray thing,
that's terrible.
The Blu-ray comes with a wee book and all that. I bought that. Was it Max Steel? No, Max Steel. What was it? Matthewman put me onto something, and I've not watched through it yet. I watched the first one and thought it was quite gash, so I'm scared now to watch it. Was it something Steel? The wee figure guy.
It might be Max Steel.
I don't think it is Max Steel. I got it because it comes in a cool wee Blu-ray.
I was going to say John Steele. That's just my granddad's name.
It's no Max Steel. But mate, do you remember when the Max Steel dolls came out way back in the day? Take it to the Max Steel. And I was like, oh, this is different for Action Man. And it was I think it was an old Jetix TV series as well. They even made a movie of it. Go see Meg. Meg.
Shut up, Meg.
That's it, Matthew, man. It's Chuck Steele. I've not watched the actual Blu-ray of it yet because I watched the first one that Matthew Man put me onto, and I don't know, I just never quite got into it. So I'm hoping the Blu-ray is better. But I can't watch that with a wife because I get that look, and I'm not fucking watching that, and that's me. So that's what it is. What it is, eh? But I just done a big clear out of all my Blu-rays. No clearing them as in got rid of them, but I got rid of some DVDs that I've got on Blu-ray, and I reorganized my Blu-rays, and I'm like, man, I've got some class Blu-rays there. I'm like, that's gone in the pile. This is the pile that's like my ultimate. So that pile stays there so that if I'm looking, where's my ultimate films? So I'm like, Never Ending Story, Labyrinth, there's Predator, there's going through all the great stuff. And then I've got the I Could Live Without You, 2012 Steelbook. I thought, still got a Steelbook? Nice Steelbook. That's a nice boulder. So
What?
There's a reference to which film? Look at that boulder. That's a nice boulder.
Boulder? I don't know.
Shrek. It's Donkey says it.
Oh, right.
It's a nice boulder.
Good boy.
Sometimes that's the way of it.
I actually look like that wee guy now.
Yeah?
Do they boy?
No. I love companion pieces. I'm about to start. I'm not a big anime guy, but I do love Death Note. I've read all the Death Note stuff there. Really not into that kind of stuff, but I love the concept and the story. I picked this up, which we've got the Blu-rays there. I'm about to start it with my kids to watch the anime, and this here is the actual Death Note. So, and by the way, if anybody knows of any great movie memorabilia that's quite like this, send me links, right? Because I love stuff like this. But this here, so in the anime, in the story, the character Light has this book. It's given to him by a god, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this here book is essentially got all what he wrote in the show. So if you watch the show, everything he does with his book, it's all in here.
All right, okay, right.
So the stuff that he wrote about folk, I mean, it's all in Italian. Like, can't make it out, but
Italian.
Like,
nice
look.
callback. Nice callback.
I know, look, but look.
It's
so
Italian.
So I thought that's pretty awesome, and it gives me a wee quill that's actually because I don't use a quill. It's actually an actual pen. I've not opened it yet, right? So if I want folk to die, I write it in there. No, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to write anything because I think stuff like this really gets me, man. Again, can't read anything because it's all in Italian, but but it's nice to know that it's all in there. You're alive, Jay Mack? Have you froze?
I was pretending you wrote my name. Fuck's sake. Did you not get that?
No, it's like whenever my kids blow their birthday candles out and I go,
I actually made that joke at my father-in-law's birthday the other week.
no, it's
he
the
blew his
mother-in-law.
candle and I just went.
It's always the mother-in-law. I heard a saying that's phenomenal. Right, and the saying is this: you better get your tea before it becomes colder than a mother-in-law's embrace. I was like, that's fucking brilliant.
I like it. I like it. That's
fucking great. But anybody that has any wee companion pieces or stuff that you can get that's class to go with your movies, I'm really right into that. I was walking the other day out of a store, has one of those bring a book or leave a donation, and I saw this. I thought, Ken, what? I'm going to get a bash purely because the guy was a good actor. It's called Last Night at the Viper Room.
It just looks like Bill Skarsgård in that photo.
Right. And there was a tea stain on it. Somebody had left like a cup of tea there, and I proper wiped it off. I was like, "How dare you? How dare you? How dare you?"
Just Nick here, mate.
No.
Nick here.
This is somebody's art. Somebody's life. It's somebody's life. You just put your teacup on it.
Oh, something I was going to mention actually before we wrap up. I saw some trailers for some upcoming films where I was like, "Oh, like, that actually looks good."
Mm-hmm.
Napoleon,
Your type of film.
Gal Gadot's new film coming out on Netflix. Heart of Stone, it's called. Actually looked pretty fucking decent.
Does she Florence Pugh in it?
I don't
Don't
know.
hit me up.
And another one about shit, what was it called? It's about kind of similar to Terminator, like where the AI becomes self-aware and kind of starts trying to destroy shit.
Is it Terminator?
No, but apparently the AI has developed a weapon that is really fucking dangerous. So they
Has
have
it
to go and
AI?
try and get this weapon. But it turns out the weapon is essentially like an android child.
Oh, aye. Is it
And
Megan?
fuck, I wish I knew what it was called, because I thought I need to remember that, and I fucking didn't. Let's see if I can find it.
Aye, what else is coming out? New Saw.
Oh, the
Saw.
creator. The creator. There you go.
The creator.
Mhm.
Aye.
Check the trailer for that. Looks awesome.
I'll definitely check it out.
From the director or from the makers of Rogue One, it said.
Rogue One wasn't terrible. Wasn't terrible.
See, I thought I haven't seen all of Rogue One, but for what I've seen of it, I enjoyed it more than every other Star Wars film, which I think is the problem with it. I think it's not for Star Wars fans. That's almost what it seems like. It seems like it's a Star Wars film that's not for Star Wars fans.
I think it was I think they could afford to take a risk. Can you take a risk on a Star Wars film? Let's take a risk on this, because it's if it doesn't hit, well, we tried something different with Rogue One. It's not like you tried it with episode whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I don't look at it and go, "Oh, that was Rogue One." I think, "Oh, fond memories. Good on you. You tried something, and it did work. It was long. And I remember thinking, I don't care about any of these characters. And I remember thinking, how cool would it be if they all just died? And then they all died, and I was like,
I
okay.
don't need to fucking watch it, then, yeah.
You've seen it.
I haven't.
You've seen it. You said you saw it.
I've seen some of it.
Oh well.
Look at you not giving half a fuck.
It's like, sorry about that.
No, sorry about that. I'll do it again.
By the way, literally before closing, because my position here, right? I thought you would appreciate this, like me and my professional setting. We went with a company called Enva, who are basically a bin company, right? We switched over because it was cheaper. The guys are like, okay, class. They come. I'm like, all right. They take the bins away for the previous company, right? I'm like, okay, where's the bins? Because this is our busiest week. There's no bins. Oh, sorry, they'll be here next week. It's like, so we've got to go a week taking bins like out to the fucking dump ourselves. Then thanks for that, right? It's the first thing that pissed me off. Second thing, they come and they empty the bins, but they leave the glass. Why you left the glass? Oh, because the guy that comes and does the glass can't get on to your premise because of the sign. It says if you're here. I'm like, no. The sign says no parking between this time and this time on the precinct, unless loading. That says every other company that ever does anything with our fucking company comes onto the precinct and has never got a ticket. You're fine to. No, you're fine to. No. Came into the cinema. I can't do it. You'll need to leave it out down the road and whatever, blah, blah, blah. Aye, is this the boss for Ember? Aye. Come get your fucking bins off my fucking property or you'll find them at the bottom of the street. Get fucked. We're done. Boom.
Mate, cheaper is always better.
No,
cheaper is really fucking better.
Is it? Fuck, mate. But I thought to myself, oh, that's quite funny. I bet you they don't get calls like that. That's like, get your fucking bins off our property now, you fucking bastards, man.
Do you know what's funny though? It's like we all pay these companies, like all these bin companies have got names like Enviro Clean and Enviro this and Enviro that. All they're doing is chucking shit in a landfill and pretending that they're doing something fucking good.
Well,
Anyway.
that's if they're good at doing it. These guys aren't even. And the guy emailed me, oh yeah, you can't just do that. We've got a contract. I'm like, the contract is you pick up our fucking rubbish, we pay you. You're not picking up your rubbish. We're not fucking paying you. Get fucked. Done. Bye, motherfucker. And the guy wouldn't answer the phone. I'm like, mate, answer your fucking phone. He kept letting it ring out. He would not answer his phone to me. Fucking bitch ass. And now they'll even come pick our bins up because they're shite bags. Pick your fucking bins up, Darren. Pick your fucking bins up.
What's his full name?
Come
Come on.
I'm the fuck Darren Rogers at Enver. Everybody at him. Fucking email the prick. Tell him to answer his fucking phone.
Hashtag pick up your bins.
Pick up your fucking rubbish, Enver. I didn't mind naming and shaming them. They're a fucking rotten company. Rotten customer service. Get this, I phone up, right? They've got a small office. I phone up. I'm like, hi, can I speak to you? I think the guy's name was Andy or something like that, right? I'm like, hi there, can I speak to Andy? She goes, no problem. You got a surname? I goes, of course I've got a fucking surname. No, what's the guy's name? You got Andy's surname. I goes, you got fucking 40 off. Andy's in your office. Pick me for fucking Andy. Cheeky bastard, man. It's like somebody phoning me.
You sound like a quality customer. Like.
I was sound, man. The guy came to me and I invited him at the office, gave him a coffee, was mega sound to him. What you're saying, I never just flew off the handle. I've been emailing them here. This is no good. What's happening? Every time, no fucking results, right? Then I'm like, yeah, I'm considering leaving, right? What I've told you there is the build up to that, right? I'm like, I'm considering leaving. He's like, oh, what's the problem? I was like, I'll give you a phone. It's easier to tell you. Patches me again. I'm like, and then the guy comes in and gets fucking ratty with my staff. Like, oh, I'm no fucking like speaking to him like that. I was like, get your fucking bins off my fucking property, you cunt. That's it. The money's done.
What's funny? It's like yous are picking up bins. Yous are picking up rubbish. It's probably the easiest business anybody could ever fucking open. It's no hard.
They're not doing it. And oh, but we've got a contract. Aye. Read the terms of these contracts, you prick.
What's the name
You
of the company?
provide service,
Enver.
we pay you. Enver. Rotten.
Enver.
Fucking rotten. Terrible customer service. Right. I says to him, I goes, your fucking staff just came in there and gave him oh, well, we spoke to the staff member and he said he didn't. So, okay, so the witnesses, I says, they're talking shite to you. I was like, get your fucking bins, man. Come and get them before they get set alight.
I've actually got quite Enver. Enver.
Shocking.
Quite decent reviews, but
aye. Aye, they definitely come pick a bin. They come up and they pick a bin. What a good review.
So where's the office space that you talk to?
I never went into the office.
But when you phone them, like, what's the area code, or is it an 0800 number or something?
I'll give you the number now. It is.
Don't give me the phone number. Just the area code.
Edinburgh.
It's Edinburgh.
It says Edinburgh, Scotland. Mm-hmm. Why?
I'm just curious.
How you going to change your company to these bin wankers? You shouldn't.
No. I'm just wanting to see what the reviews are like. The reviews are actually quite good, but there is only 12 of them, and all 12 of them probably work in the office.
Correct. And only one of them's named Andy. You got a surname? It's like somebody saying, I'm looking for Jay. Is that Kev the Jibber? I'm looking for Jay. Well, I need to be a bit more specific here. Like, see if you're in front of me, you walloper. You'd have got fucking chinned for that, but see this over the phone, over email crap. Come back to the office, motherfucker. Come back to the office.
Oh, this will help. This will help your case. This will definitely make it happen.
Come get your bins. That's what I'm saying. And they had the cheek to be. I said to them, but the glass is now overflowing because we've got no one emptied it. Yeah, well, someone won't be out for another week, and I just have to tell you, if you end up putting the glass in the other bin, it will be contaminated and not picked up. I'm like, get your fucking bins, prick. Fucking come get them. So, contract.
Come get your bins.
Contract void. Arseholes, come and get your fucking bins and fucking give yourselves a fucking shake. You absolute fucking cretinous bastards.
Why the fuck is Bathgate Precinct called Bathgate Precinct? It's the only town in this country with a precinct.
I don't know. I think there's a boulevard in Livy. You got issues with that?
No, not at all. Not at all. I wouldn't even have a problem with Rue de la Glen Ammond. Wouldn't have a problem with that. But precinct. It's not fucking New York.
I had two folk having an argument recently. What was it there? It was there something stupid, and I was like, "Oh, I love that I'm hearing this argument," and I forgot it. I was like, oh, "I need to tell J Mac about this because it's funny." They're arguing about something stupid. Like.
Anyway, we're rabbiting.
Aye, definitely.
Go see Oppenheimer. Go see Barbie.
Go see the Meg.
The Meg. Go see everything. All the Bathgate
Aye.
Cinema. Back it.
Aye, date at Bathgate. That'd be class for me. Like.
And I get nothing out of it, but enjoy.
Me too. Absolutely me too. J Mac, a word from our sponsors.
Subscribe!
What a fat dick. Anyway, it's been nice to have you all here for Christopher Nolan's new film, Oppenheimer.
Aye, most
8.7
definitely.
out of 10 on IMDb. Definitely worth a watch. Go see it.
Got a 9 from me.
If you get bored, it's not my fault.
Nah, well, you'll probably fall asleep, but you'll not miss much. They're all talking in Italian, man.
Loved it.
It was class. So thanks for tuning in. Subscribe. Tell all your pals here. I bet Nannies will go and give us an iTunes review. Go and just give us an iTunes review just to see what it's like to have that wee thing go, oh, you got a new iTunes review. And
make
if
sure
you
it's 5-star as well. Like if you're going to do it, then give it
I know. We're no end by fuck's
helps
sake.
the podcast grow if we get 5-star reviews.
It totally does. Nobody does it, has ever done it in the 5 years like that we've existed. So if you could,
kind of makes you wonder if we're doing something wrong. Eh?
Do you know what? They probably have. I've just never checked because I don't get the analytics from it. But if you could just go and give us that wee review, we don't really need it. But if you do it anyway, I'm just trying to convince you to go and do something for us. Right, but do it anyway. If no, cool, man. I'll see you on next week.
Cheery bubbles.
Take it easy, folks. Bye.